Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are working on their fourth signing of the summer, which would be our third signing this week. Arsenal are moving to sign a centre-back from Valencia, and the name is Christian Mosquera, looked at as one of the players that can actually back up Saliba and back up Gabriel Magalhaes. He's not an option for left back. Maybe Arsenal are looking to sign Gerard Hato and Christian Mosquera, but at the moment, main focus on centre back. It is Christian Mosquera. A deal is happening. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. What does this mean for Jakub Kiwior? That's question number one. What does this mean for the future of players like Takehiro Tomiyasu? And most especially, does that mean that Arsenal are just signing a centre back and not signing a left back? Are we going to sign two defenders, a left back and a centre back? The agent of Gerard Hato was in London this week to discuss a move for the player. Personal terms of the problem, Arsenal have offered him a very good contract. Could Arsenal really go and sign both of them? Or there is a pricing issue here? Maybe Arsenal look at Christian Mosquera as an easier deal to do, a cheaper deal to do. We're going to be discussing all that. But Arsenal are moving to sign their fourth signing of the summer. It's going to be Christian Mosquera, the Spanish international at Valencia. How are we feeling about Arsenal? Our transfers are finally moving in the right direction. Not the players that Arsenal, initially thought. By the way, this is a whole change in what Arsenal tried to do initially in the window, but we're still getting very, very good targets. So Hands of Ozil has just confirmed this story. It's been an exclusive from Hands of Ozil. Hands of Arsenal, was confirmed that Arsenal are targeting Christian Mosquera as their ideal defensive choice this summer. Contact have already established as Arsenal look to beat off rivals on this deal. Andre Bata has backup options lined up if this deal doesn't happen. That is according to Hands of Ozil. And Fabrizio Romano has gone and confirmed this story, and he says Arsenal are in active talks to sign Christian Mosquera as a new centre-back, with initial negotiations already ongoing. He's among the top targets for centre-back position at Arsenal. Talks ongoing with Valencia and on player side as well. Deal on as exclusively broken by the big man Hand of Ozil. And also The Athletic through David Stein and the Ghana Bloke are reporting that following Hands of Ozil, it's true, Arsenal are working on a deal to sign Christian Mosquera from Valencia, 20-year-old, currently AFC's preferred option to strengthen at centre-back. He's entering the final 12 months of his contract, plus interest from other clubs is there too. The story has been done by almost each and every big outlet. Also reported by Sky Sports German. This is Florian Plattenberg confirming there that Arsenal are now pushing to sign Christian Mosquera. Negotiations have started as per Hands of Ozil. Despite verbal agreement with RB Leipzig, the club stepped back from negotiations due to the significant increase in the asking price of the player. Leverkusen and Bayern are also keeping tabs on the player. Christian Mosquera, one of the players that are really sought after this summer. Arsenal in pole position to sign Christian Mosquera. Now, in May, I reported and I said that it was being said that Arsenal would sign a centre-back whether we signed Dean Huijsen or not. Because there were a few stories that were saying that Mikel Arteta wanted Dean Huijsen, but Arsenal looked at him as a market opportunity, as this kind of once-in-a-lifetime talent. So Arsenal had decided to go and sign him because they never wanted to miss out on the opportunity. But then he went to Real Madrid for £50 million, and Arsenal chilled down. This is clear. Arsenal didn't want to sign a centre-back because Dean Huijsen was available. Mikel Arteta and Andre Bata wanted a new centre-back. Regardless of the availability of Maguire, regardless of the availability of Gerard Hato, regardless of the availability of Dean Huijsen, regardless of what all those players wanted to do, Arsenal wanted to sign another centre-back. And where this comes from, I think Mikel Arteta, by the way, kudos to this guy. Absolute genius of a guy. Because Christian Mosquera Reminds me of Gabriel Magalhaes when we signed him about 6 years ago. You remember in 2020, in the summer, asked to sign Gabriel Magalhaes, and today he's one of the best defenders in the world right now. By the time I think he was 21, and 6 years later, 5 years later, he's 27, one of the best defenders in the world. So what Arsenal are looking at here, we're trying to replicate, and we're trying to kind of retrace our steps on such a deal. Can we go out there and sign these guys before they become worth hundreds of millions of pounds? Saliba, 27 million. Gabriel Magalhaes, 27 million. And this Christian Mosquera deal, well, Arsenal could do it for 27 million. Arsenal could do it for 30 million. And we, for all we know, Arsenal have enough money to splash on a centre back. I want to remind you that Arsenal are linked with Joro Hato. That is 50 million euros if a deal is going to be done. About 45 to 50 million euros. Then we try to trigger the release clause of Dean Huijsen. That is 50 million pounds. That alone should tell you Arsenal have enough money to spend on a centre back. Arsenal have a lot of money to spend on a centre back. And of course, it's Mikel Arteta. We know what Mikel Arteta is all about. If it's a centre back, Mikel Arteta has the money. If it is a striker, Mikel Arteta doesn't have the money. I'm kidding. But you understand, Mikel loves centre backs. Mikel is a freak at making this team stronger defensively. And if you look at the four signings Arsenal are about to complete, Christian Mosquera, talks ongoing with Valencia. He's a centre back. Kepa is a goalkeeper. All that is defensive work. Martin Zubimendi is a defensive midfielder, and Christian Nogard is a defensive midfielder. What that tells you is we know the clear identity of Mikel Arteta. We know without doubt and with absolute clarity the identity of the manager that is driving this Arsenal team. He is a defense-minded guy. He's gonna first try to make his defense better before making the attack better. First, you defend your home before you attack others. And that's what Mikel Arteta is actually working on. But let's talk about this guy. Let's talk about Christian Mosquera, because according to Florian Plattenberg, he says that there was a verbal agreement between the player and RB Leipzig, but RB Leipzig have now stepped back. Leverkusen are interested. There is also talk of Bayern Munich. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Honestly, who is Christian Mosquera? Bayern there, Leverkusen there, RB Leipzig there, and these three clubs have one thing in common. They have an eye for good talent. Leverkusen, beautiful eyes for good talent. Leipzig, sharp eyes for good talent. Bayern, of course, Bayern just ship anyone that is good. Honestly, they are invaders, but they're invaders of good talent. And of course, one thing we know about us in these days is we have also tried to write our reputation in recent transfer windows as a team that can go out there and spot very, very good talent in the market. So a highly rated young Spanish international playing at Sevilla, and Mikel Arteta is saying, and Andre Bata, they're both saying, this guy has got the physicality and build to actually play in the Premier League. Right? If you're bringing in, I want you to understand this. Arsenal are signing Christian Mosquera, right? In a team that has Gabriel and Saliba. And if he's a backup to those guys, right? We already have Timber and we already have Calafiori. This guy must be good. And I'm not going to hype him because I've not seen much about him. But he must be good, right? He must be good. Bayern wants him. As far as I know, Bayern are a world-class team. Leverkusen, in the last 3 years, you could call them, not world-class really, but you could call them a very, very good team. And RB Leipzig, they're the masters at poaching and sniffing out very good talent. So Christian Mosquera to Arsenal is a deal that makes sense. And why it makes sense is this: if the manager wants a new centre back, and you do not want to splash 50 million, 60 million on McGahey, because I'm hearing that McGahey to Liverpool is going to cost about 50 million in the back, right? If you don't want to spend 50 million on Margehi. You don't want to spend 50 million on Jared Brathwaite, or you don't want to spend about 50 or 60 million on a young centre back, on one of these highly expensive centre backs. You're gonna go for a market opportunity, and for me, Mosquera positions himself as a market opportunity. Young, can play in the Gabriel position, left centre back, can play right centre back, and can also, that means he can play right back. Okay. Now I have seen one clip. I'm not going to lie. I've seen one video on YouTube. I don't think this guy is a fullback. I don't think this guy can play at left back. I don't think this guy can play at right back. But again, it's Mikel Arteta who understands the kind of signing he wants, and it's Mikel Arteta who's going to tell us what the guy brings. Maybe Mikel is going to be like, Christian Mosquera, I can see him as a striker here. I can see him play striker. I mean, managers, they do these things. But what I want to say about Christian Mosquera, again, Arsenal being ruthless in the market, right? I think we are getting people angry because we are not signing the players they want, but we are being ruthless with the mistakes and with the deficiencies that Arsenal faced. When we signed Andre Barta, it was said that this is the guy that was supposed to take Arsenal to the next level. And what people thought the next level was, but you sign Rodrigo, you sign Gyökeres, you sign Šeško, you sign Isak, you sign maybe Bastoni, maybe you sign Ilya Zabani from Bournemouth. That is not next level alone. I mean, signing top level players, I love Arsenal to get a top level player. Gyökeres or Šeško, and then Rodrigo. But in order for you to go to the next level, you must have a well-built, tightly built squad. A squad that does not have any excuses. A squad that has enough depth in each and every position. And Mosquera allows us to have a quality centre-back replacing Saliba or backing up Saliba without sacrificing the quality of Julian Timber at right back and without sacrificing the quality of Ricardo Calafiori at left centre-back. That is the reason as to why we're going for a player like Christian Mosquera, and it makes sense, right? Is it a sensible transfer? Yes, it is a sensible transfer. It's a good deal. I mean, we are not signing a guy that is replacing Saliba. No. Saliba is signing a new deal. Gabriel Magalhaes has signed a new deal. We are bringing in a player that can, sit, watch, and just take off some minutes of these players. If you have not noticed, there is something that is going on, and it is absolutely disgusting in football these days. Last season alone, Thomas Partey played 42 games, right? In the Champions League and the Premier League, just the Champions League and the Premier League. So one thing that is going on, very, very interesting these days, is the amount of games that teams are having to play. And you're going to have, you're going to need ridiculously big squads. So Arsenal have 38 games confirmed already next season. That is in the Premier League. And we have 8 games. Is it 8 or 6? I want to get this right. Is it 8 games? Did we play 8 games? Or did we play 6? We played PSG. I'm talking about the table format. PSG, Atalanta, Inter Milan. Those are 3. Dinamo Zagreb as well. We played Dinamo Zagreb as well. I remember that. I think it's 8 games on the table format of the Champions League. So then you have those 8 games, right? Those 8 games. That is 46 games, right? That is 46 games. Now add 1 game in the Carabao Cup. That is 47, and add 1 game in the FA Cup. Those are the mandatory games Arsenal have to play. 48 bloody games. You don't expect Saliba to play 48 and Gabriel to play 48 and Timber and Lewis Kelly. This team has already been savaged by injuries. We don't want to risk it. We cannot risk it. So it's a good signing. It's a very, very sensible signing. Arsenal's fourth signing of the summer could be Christian Mosquera. Talks ongoing. Does this mean that the Gerard Hato deal is off? No. I mean, it will depend on the budgeting, but sources are saying that Arsenal don't want to lose Gerard Hato. He's a player they've tracked since he was 15. Now I think he's 20. So we've tracked him for 5 years, and we still think after this time, he's a good player. Could a deal for Mosquera happen, and then Gerard Hato happens as well? Let's watch the space. But Arsenal, fourth signing of the summer, incoming.